ganja. Most aspects of being famous, I like a lot. I don't know why celebrities complain about it. It seems like quite a lot of fun to me. Maybe it's a sort of hangover from my days as a smuggler, but I still like to carry a small amount of hash across borders. I suppose I see it as a sort of good luck charm. I also try other ways of transporting personal amounts around the world. I drove up to the ferry terminal of Cork. The back seat looked like a rockery covered with a bit of canvas. You know, there was kind of huge kilos of hash poking out here, there and everywhere. And I turned up at the ferry terminal far too early and asked the customs officer what time should I turn up. And he said that it must be at least an hour and a half. He said, why don't you go back to town for a drink? And he said, and if you are, would you mind giving me a lift? So he actually sat on lumps of hash. I took him into Cork, dropped him off, went for a drink, went back to the ferry, and successfully drove the car over to England.
That's Lake Lugano. The other side of the lake is where we're going to, which is where I buried the passport. It's been 11 years since I was here last, and I was just a short visit. But I know it so well. It's odd coming back to a place you know so well after a very long time. And very little seems to have changed so far. Campione means like enclave, so Campione in Italian means an enclave of Italy. So at this point, we cut crossing the Italian-Swiss border. Now in Italy, and I used to live here. I was up there. I lived. One of these hanging over here, up there. Yeah, well, it was over here I did it, I think, yeah. This, like, playground bit is certainly new. I mean, there was a playground here, but obviously the bits and pieces are new. 19 years ago, I decided that using Mr. Nice was becoming rather embarrassing because the name had become known by various authorities. So I asked a friend of mine to come out here and get my Mr. Nice passport from my apartment, which is just up there, and bury it. The trouble is when you bury something, you don't forget exactly where it was or where it was buried. Might have changed a bit, you might have built something on it. Also, whether you actually buried it yourself or not. This particular one, I didn't bury it, so it's very, very hard to remember exactly where I buried it. But I do remember where he told me he'd buried it, and it was here. It's not the only passport I buried, actually. I buried another one and found that one, but not with such a long time gap. So I don't know what the hell we meant to do. I mean, I know it's somewhere around here. This thing won't even go into the ground. So, you got a bulldozer? Or those mechanical diggers or so. And anyway, it would have expired by now. Wouldn't be much use. Plus, it'd be a bit hot. Still living here when I was doing a lot of work smuggling out in Pakistan, India and Thailand. And the contrast, being in the fields out there and then, a mad drive to Karachi on the plane in Zurich and suddenly here waiting for the phone call. It was good. And the phone's good. Probably recognise the Campione. When I first arrived there, I was using the name Anthony Tunnicliffe. By the time I left, I was using the name Donald Nice. And there were a few in between. Well, that's me. Hayes, I think. John Hayes. As me. I kept a nickname through all that, Albie. I mean, everyone knew me as Albie despite my change of identity. Friends did. Let's see if I can find those, the garden. I think that's the garden, isn't it? That's where I buried it, out there, I think. I know there were plants, there's like soft soil, you couldn't bury it in.
Anfangs konnte ich mir das gar nicht vorstellen, dass der den Pass wirklich vergraben hat. Und Zeit hatte ich und dann habe ich gesagt, ja, ich fahre runter. Kam an um 10 Uhr, wie es auch auf den Bildern zu sehen ist. Ja, dann habe ich mir den Spielplatz mir angeguckt. Mir über das Ganze mal so Gedanken zu machen und dann habe ich mich vor dieser Palme hingesessen und habe mir gedacht, das kann es nicht sein, dass der den wirklich bei dieser Palme vergrabt, weil wenn man sich das vorstellt, das ist total übersichtlich. Also es muss ein Platz sein, der in irgendeiner Ecke ist, weil oben ist eine Straße, da kann man runtersehen, auf den ganzen Spielplatz. Ja, und dann habe ich mir 2, 3 Ecken ausgesucht und da habe ich dann beschlossen, in der Nacht zu graben. Bis dann am nächsten Tag, das war dann mittags oder was, also wirklich am Tageslicht und da habe ich dann mir eine Ecke ausgesucht, habe da 10 Minuten gegraben und nach 20 Zentimeter habe ich den gefunden, wie man eigentlich auf den Bildern so erkennen kann. Playground.
Yeah, that's when I tried to find the passport.
Mhm. Und ich war auf diesem...
So you found it?
Maybe.
Was anything else in that?
Das ist die Hülle, in der dein Schwager den Passport eingewickelt hat. Also es riecht...
Your brother-in-law put it in.
Ja.
Und du kannst es riechen, es riecht 19 Jahre alt.
That's the package.
Smell it, it smells 19 years old. I have a smell.
Yeah.
It's a 19-year smell, wow.
Let's see your passport.
Hier.
Howard Marks, how do you feel having your passport after 20 years in front of you?
Well, it's a very strange feeling. Quite surprised, actually. It's quite a shock. I'm very, very glad it has been found.
What are you going to do with it?
I'll probably give it to a museum.
Yeah.
In 1984, I moved to Mallorca. Despite having been acquitted of smuggling several tons of marijuana into the UK, the taxman felt that nevertheless there was a taxable income out there, which had been made from dope smuggling. So I decided to become a foreign resident for tax purposes. I chose Mallorca primarily because it was legal to smoke marijuana there, and also because of the presence of an English-speaking community and English schools.
Hello. Welcome to Palma.
Rewind, everything's okay.
Rewind. Everything's okay.